Thank you for sharing. That was really insightful. Okay, ma'am, would you like to go next?
Yes.
Was it Jay?
Yes. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So as far as what we're talking about right now, think about a trigger, an event, something that happens that elicits bad emotions.
Okay.
Now that you're divorced,
Now that I'm divorced,
what makes you feel sad or depressed?
Well, sad or depressed,
Or
can I get
angry or anxious?
Okay, I get angry because I feel like I have the boys more weekends than he does. He gets to be able to, go out and, have me time. But I feel like I'm with the boys on the weekend all the time, so I'm just constantly mom.
Right.
So I think that's a trigger for me.
I see you shaking your head over here.
Yeah. It's like it's not easy, when you want to go out there and kind of continue your life after this traumatic period,
Yeah, but it's only like one-sided.
Yeah.
Only one person's able to continue and build. So I'm stuck here. I guess I'm stuck, but I'm not being able to just figure out why.
You're labeling it as stuff. That's the word you're putting, stuff. And so, since you can relate, do you have any advice maybe to for her?
I'm constantly trying to, have my kids over, and it's not easy because it's like I have them for one weekend and then I don't, and then there's sometimes when I'm having them more than I should because she's not really wanting to take care of them more or less because she never really wanted the kids on my end, so I'm taking care of them more or less, and it's really hurting my personal life when I go and try to get a relationship because I know that if I try to invest myself into another person, I'm taking time away from my kids, and that's really, it's hard because you're trying to be the best as a single parent, and it's just not easy because you're having to try to meet up with your, ex-wife, and sometimes I have my family members and stuff like that, but I'm always having to constantly deal with the struggle of who's going to have who for the week and stuff like that because, it was a lot easier because when the school year was going on and we didn't have this coronavirus thing.
Oh, yeah. Corona
messed
up everything.
Yeah, so it was kind of just, she had every other weekend, but now I have the kids more and more on certain weekends, and so it's making it harder for me to go out there. But at the same time, I know if I go out there and go to the bars and shit, I'm gonna get corona, and the chances of getting corona and bringing it back to
the kids.
So
my
what
kids,
you're
and
saying
so
is it gets better.
it's not easy, but
you learn to deal with it, honestly, because you're trying to do it for your kids.
Yeah.
I'm
so
like,
it's
okay,
tough
it's tough and it's hard because you are having to raise your kids alone.
But that's what I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's fine.
That's what I'm trying to prevent, That's why we are,
You don't want to have kids.
I don't. That's what I'm trying to prevent.
Yeah.
For her,
but
for
y'all
me,
can have different parenting style, different communication style.
I understand that,
You just gotta be.
When you have two different goals, it just doesn't work out for me, and that's what I'm trying to prevent.
Yeah.
Because I know you guys are having issues, troubles now that you guys are not together.
Right.
Something I'm trying to prevent, and I'm not trying to make her feel bad.
Nancy, is there anything that you want to say? Maybe do you want to be the next person to share?
Yes, what triggers me is that I just gave this man the best years of my life, and that's something that I can't get back. And in my head, I thought that we were going to start a family, but now that we're going through this divorce, I know that he doesn't want to have kids, and I do, and that's just something that I'm going to have to look with somebody else, which is what I didn't want to do. Yes.
But you better find a better man, better looking than you, and treat you better. Sorry.
If I may say, I'm not trying to overstep your boundaries
Go
or
ahead.
anything. Not speaking personally or anything. I'll wait till my turn. But if I may add to you guys, I can see from both perspectives that one person doesn't want to have kids to avoid certain conflicts, and better try to in their own mind better prepare for certain tragedies or
Right.
avoid. But the other person still trying to I want to build this type of relationship. This is my goals. This is what I wanted. So it's just certain conflicts, certain goals that are conflicting with each other. I'm not sure. Maybe if you need to sit here and actually talk about it, that's what I guess counseling is for. Maybe you can meet mutual grounds or whatnot. But everybody's entitled to their own opinion. That's what we're all here for.
So what we see here is two different opposing. Obviously, someone or a couple of people who have been divorced and people who are contemplating divorce at the moment. And do you guys by any chance see maybe a mirror in these guys saying, they had financial difficulties or they had certain difficulties previously? Do you guys see any of those similarities
I
now?
kind of do see myself, and may I get your name again?
Oh, Manuel.
Manuel, because I'm more of the person that likes to stay in while
Yeah.
he likes to go out
Yeah.
to bars and do other things which I'm not comfortable with. Since I am saving up for college, I don't think it's convenient for me. Yeah, so I would say that adds to the problems as well, apart from the kid situation, which was the icebreaker for the relationship.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And how about for you? Do you, as far as wanting to get a divorce, do you see anything similar in why these people got a divorce or the same way that they feel?
I mean, not exactly, because like I said, I'm just trying to prevent these types of scenarios, especially for her.
In my opinion, I feel like he's just not ready to settle down.
And how does that make you feel? The fact that you're ready and he's not. What do you think is going to happen with those two opposing?
Well, the trigger for me would be the years that I lost that I'm not going to get back.
Right. Well, do you have a trigger that you'd like to share?
Maybe the fact that she's still trying to, fix things.
So this counseling group itself is a trigger for you.
Not the group itself, the point, the fact that she's still trying.
Making it a trigger.
Yeah, making an attempt. I mean, I don't mind that, even though she knows
Right.
my point of view, my perspective when it comes to having kids in general, Maybe it kind of bothers me that she's still trying, but personally, I don't think it's just.
Do you see any chance of you that is getting back together?
Probably not. Maybe after today. Not exactly, or maybe not. But who knows? Time to tell.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Amen.
Yeah, long change.
Okay. Guys, I want
If I guess a trigger for me would have to be if I'm talking about now, I would have to say that I would like to see my kids more, but I feel like the mother of my children would be using our kids as a weapon to get what she wants. For example, just 3 days ago, I asked if I could get the kids this weekend, and she said, "Well, are you going to put gas in my car because I'm driving your kids around?" And it's because I took care of all the finances.
right.
If she needed gas in her car, I would put gas in her car. But now that we're separated, me personally, I feel like your
You shouldn't
gas
have to
and
take care of
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Take care of her. Yeah.
my kids, of course, if they need something, I'm gonna do it. But the gas in your car is your responsibility. Why are you still trying to use me or use the
I
kids
see a lot of head nods.
to get what you want? Like, okay, now I need to put gas in your car to see my children. I don't understand that. Like why do you need to use the children to get what you want? Okay, now I need to put gas in your car because you're driving my kids around. So now I need to provide the transportation just to see my children. If that's the point, and I even mentioned this. Okay, well, fine. Where are you at? I'll go drive to you to see my children. And she'll say, well, I don't want you to know where we live. And it's like, okay, well, it's
That's
like,
another trigger for it.
yeah, dang if I do, dang if I don't. Like, okay, what is it that you want from me? I can't go see where you live, but now I need to pay for you to bring my children to me. When I point this out to her, she'll come up with another scenario. Okay, well, the children need diapers. And I'll be like, okay, that's fine, but I just bought the big box of diapers for you 4 days ago. This big box of diapers lasts 2 weeks. I'm not an idiot. I know how long these diapers last. I know how much to buy. I'm not completely absent from their life. I know.
Are you keeping your receipts?
I guess
Yeah,
I am. I am definitely
Honestly, I would keep my receipts.
because
For
I
all
want.
that, just documentation, for the court system and everything else.
Yes, thank
You're
you.
taking your part. You're doing your part.
Exactly. That's funny that you mentioned that because I'm actually trying to save money to afford a lawyer. That way, I can show this person that the courts that I'm doing my part because it's sad that I have to take the mother of my children to court just so I can get some kind of rights. Because, and that's another trigger for me that why as a father am I looked at as a second-class parent when I'm doing whatever I can to see my children? Just because, okay, I'm not taking anything from you. You're the mother. You birthed these children. You carried them in your womb for 9
But
months.
put dads in one group all the time that they don't
Yeah.
usually take care of the parents.
Yeah.
They don't take care of their kids.
Right.
That's the role they put dads in all the time.
And that is tragic. I'm sorry. Okay, I can admit, yes, maybe there are fathers that don't want to be okay. Don't want to see their kids. They're just putting them off on the back burner. And and so we get a bad rep. The fathers that are trying to see their kids, that are trying to be in their children's lives.
Let's put it in the same group.
Not to
Exactly.
interrupt, but I see a lot of head nods, and then what you were saying definitely builds off what these two were talking about when it comes to finances, as far as triggers. So I see that money tends to be like
big factor.
Oh, yeah.
especially-
Honestly,
Yeah.
you really think about it.
Well, I guess now that you
Yeah.
mention it, I can definitely see that because it boils down. I mean,
I think that
It's because it's
you're
time.
so worried about trying to live and survive in the world because of finances that you don't have time for that person, and that person's just upsetting you to the most that you don't have time to recover that.
The biggest thing that I want you guys to take from this is the fact that you are not the only person in this room that is feeling that way. So therefore, we know that by knowing that cognitively, by knowing that in our heads, that finances or this certain thing is making us feel a certain type of way, we have the ability to change that. Just like the person who divorced us had the ability to remove themselves from the situation, we have the ability to change our thought process and therefore change the way we feel about something and change the outcome. Just by knowing that that's our trigger.
Yeah.
As far as our future sessions, guys, I do have a little bit of homework for you.
Okay.
I'd like you guys to do something called journaling. I want you to, every day, journal, maybe take a time in the morning, evening, midday, journal how you're feeling, what you were doing at that time, and what made you feel that way. Were you cooking breakfast? Were you feeling happy? What made you feel happy about cooking breakfast? Was it that it was, you know, that you were feeding your family? Was it that you were able to supply for yourself? Depends on what you were doing. Did you go on a date? What made you happy about that? Was it the fact that you were independent? Our next session, I'd like you guys to bring that homework in, and we're going to talk a little bit more about being independent and being able to talk about ourselves outside of the divorce. Who are we? Who do we want to be? Who do we want to develop into? Because when we get married, we tend to become a little bit of that person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we tend to see ourselves in that person's life. But I want you to remove yourself from that person in everyday scenarios and see what you guys come up with, okay? Our next session is going to be Wednesday, 7 p.m. again. If you guys have any questions or aren't going to be able to make it to the session, feel free to give us a call. I'd like to thank everyone for coming to the group. Does anybody have any questions?
Actually, if you don't mind, I do have a question. Like when you said something about a situation that we're in and a trigger happens, like let's first, you said something about cooking or anything. Let's say I get up and I'm making my breakfast and lunch before I go to work, and I get the text message. Oh, how come you're not thinking about your kids? You know, when of course, obviously, I am thinking about my children day in and day out. I'm trying to see them, and I have this person trying to constantly throwing stuff in my face making these obstacles for me to see my children.
I would
And then-
write this in the journal.
Write it in the journal.
Yeah.
Like, but see, it's so hard for me to just sit here and just stop
As
and
far as
grab
what I
a
can
pen
say,
and paper and write something in the
Honestly,
journal.
though, we have
Probably
iPhones now. You
learn.
can do recording and everything.
and as
You
far
get
as
iPhone
skills, a quick skill,
Record.
think of it the way we thought about it today from what we did. You're in your kitchen, you're feeling happy, you get this text message, but you know that this person usually says things to make you feel upset, correct? So what do? Don't read the text message. If it's really something that's important, your kids are in an issue, I'm sure that she'd give you a call. So is a text message really worth you ruining your breakfast over?
Yeah.
You know what? You're right about
Yeah.
that, because if it was an emergency, I would get constant calls.
Yeah.
But if it was just a text message, it would be trying to pick at me.
So knowing that that makes you angry, why even pick up the phone or pick up that text message in the first place?
Thank you, Miss Merlin.
Yeah, of course.
I think that makes sense.
Does anybody have any other questions or anything they have to get off their chest before we head out?
No, I think you did a great job.
Well, guys, thank you so much again, and I look forward to seeing you guys next Wednesday, okay?
Thank
All right.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.